Hello and welcome to the Freedom from the Night Tales of the Supernatural. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Freedom of the Night Tales of the Supernatural. And as you know, we have some good breaking news. Some good breaking news. And it's not good breaking news because it's my news as per se, according to what I'm talking about, that's good. It's not what I think is good. That's good. Okay, it's not my good breaking news, but it's good breaking news because it's from the Father and what He has shown to me and many of His children. Period. Okay. Period. So His disciples, as we know that His disciples, they got up and they followed Him. They followed Jesus when He was in the physical. Okay, they followed Him in the physical so that they can know, or their children will know. Okay, He was preparing them and generations to come, because it's just not about that at that moment. It's about generations to come to for the reason why things were done in such a way in the Bible. So He was not only preparing those disciples to follow Him, He was also preparing their children and their children's and children, and on down the line, to follow Him. And it become easier and easier for those children to follow Jesus, okay? And even in spirit. Okay, the spirit will follow Jesus easily, and the flesh will just have to follow suit behind spirit. Okay, so the good news is not, it's not the crazy, but it sounds crazy, but it's not the actual crazy. The physical is more so the, the things that people physically do all day in operation of jealousy. But they go through a whole bunch of stuff with the physical eyes that stares on at things. That's jealousy. Okay, that's jealousy because you targeting a person so that you can be able to stop their growth. Like you're not allowing them to grow. That's jealousy. Just just pushing your darkness on to their light, which I already did a video about that. Pushing your darkness on to the other person. That's automatic. That's automatic jealousy. All the top surface and everything, that's not jealousy. That's just the appointed jealousy by everybody. But the true jealousy is not allowing the person to grow, and you just putting all your darkness on them, and they never get to go where they need to go. Their purpose is never fulfilled. So then they die with that bitterness in their belly, never exploring their purpose ever. Okay. And then after a while, like it says according to the Bible, you're gonna die with them. Yeah. You're gonna die right next to them, okay? For putting them to death. Because that's what you did. You put them to death. And they wasn't able to do what it was they supposed to do because of your darkness. That's automatic jealousy. Not allowing the gift to come together with your gift. Instead, you ready to downplay their gift because you don't understand it, okay? But they have a gift too. It may be weird and deranged to you, but not to God. God gave them that gift, and that's what they are giving out, and then and it should be, that gift should be done in love, okay, which is a lot of things that people want to do. Like they want to give, but they don't want to give in love. They keep talking about stuff. This is not about love. But honey, honey, sweet as honey. Let me tell you something. Sweet as honey, honey, honey. It has to be done in love. It can't be done no other way. So the love that you're looking at is the physical love. You're not looking at the love that that's in this good. This good. You ain't looking at that love. You looking at the love that people then gave you, that love. And then you're dictating off of a physical. When if you preaching, why are you preaching off of what it is that you see? That's not fair. That's not fair. That means you only preaching for the physical, which means that you'll also get off into Joshua. Can you come and turn his phone off for me, please? Thanks, because it's totally making noise again. You something else, boy. Anyway, so yes, that means that you are totally seeing with these eyes because that's your comfort zone and that's all you see. That's the only thing that you see. Okay, you're not noticing anything for real. What you're noticing is not real. It's imagination type stuff. And they always and then that leads that person into thinking that spiritual stuff is spooky. Yeah, I heard one person say something about spooky dookie. What? Really? Where they do that at? It's all about the spooky, honey. It's all about the spooky. So whatever. It just because you said it ain't about the spooky dookie, it don't make it be that it's not about spooky dookie. Okay? The heck out of here with that mess. So yeah, some people are rising up for evil. They are helping people, but they're not helping people for good. They are helping people for evil, and they don't know that they're helping people for evil. They think they're doing a good thing just because they are helping. Mm-mm. No, no, there are people rising up, but they don't know that they're rising up in evil. You're not rising up in good, honey. Sorry, sir. You're not. So mainly we have the spooky stuff over here. Where Crazy 8, you are in some good breaking news, and over here is where Crazy, okay, it's official. Okay, Crazy is official because we get off into the supernatural, which is the spooky dookie. Okay, we get off into the spooky because number one, that type of stuff will spook you. The stuff on TV is the actual thing that's spooky, and that shouldn't be that shouldn't be tainted. Like you shouldn't be messing up the real true nature of spirit with that paranormal stuff. Now that's spooky stuff, and that's crazy stuff because you are putting it off all on your physical, which is you clouding up the spirit that's real for the spirit that's not so real. Okay, you are causing demonic spirits to take place in front of you, and you're not even able to see the real true nature of your spirit self because you will have imaginary friends surrounding you every day. Now that's spooky. Now, the stuff that I'm talking about, that's supernatural, that's not spooky. That's nothing but telling you about what's coming from you, what's going on in there. Okay, that's what I do over here. I also play music. You know, I play all kinds of music, and it's not for to what the musicians do. And I've been doing it for a long time, but now I put a twist onto their music because the father, and this is some more good breaking news, and that's because the father has said to me that they are governing over their music. so So he had me to do something that was very dangerous because I had a lot of people that that really loved their music, and then they would tell me, I really appreciate you, but such and such, such. They would be, you know, in my inbox telling me that that's not what that meant, and they would get mad, like be upset. So I was placed in a thing this was kind of not good because they was causing me to anger. And so I became very, very angry. And I'm like, I'm doing what God is telling me to do. And that's why some of those people never made it into the industry because number one, the test starts with me, the people. And then once you slide past different decision making and you bounce ideas off of those people around you, you make it. You understand? You make it and you get higher and higher. But if you stay stuck at the people and you tripping off of what they do with your music, which you were supposed to put out music for the people. Okay, you were supposed to do that for the people. And the thing is, the father gave me your verse in the music and other verses in your music, and he said that this is why he wrote it versus why you think you wrote it. You understand? And you went through what you went through with the verses that's in your music, but the father said, this is why I wrote it. This is why I gave it to them. And I want you to put that down right there before their face because they're going to see it. So as they kept friending everybody on Facebook, yeah, I would put their music down the way God said he gave it. But they was getting upset because that was not this was not that. And the more you argued about it, the more you stayed stuck. You didn't make it. Pointer of the day. And this goes out to all the musicians out there. Pointer of the day, bounce off ideas. Don't sit there and stay stuck in what somebody else is giving because your music goes different for each and every individual. You can't stop that. Can't stop that. Everybody with your verse then been through something way worse. So the thing that they getting off into with your music may be different than why you wrote it. So even though the musicians come out with why they wrote something, baby, that ain't the end of the story. Because even though this is why you wrote it, it's not set in stone, homie, to why the other person is putting that lyric into a different form than what you put it in. Okay. Same thing with the Bible. Same thing with the Bible. You put it into a different form than what it was wrote as, but it still was wrote, right? So you can't get upset at somebody taking a lyric from your song and doing what they do. Get the heck out of here. Yeah, I better get over that, or you will not make it to where you're trying to go. Anyway, so next, so the next thing is also let's get right on into this good breaking news. Let's get right on into this good breaking news over here. And we'll get off into it right after this. Hello, welcome back. And this is the Freedom from the Night Tales of the Supernatural, where we get off into the crazy and the real deal Holyfield, and not the paranormal stuff and the other things that's not normal. It's paranormal, it's not normal. It's close to normal. That's what they think is normal, but it's not normal. So today is Monday, June 7th, 2021. The year is going by like a thief in the night. The year is going by like a thief in the night, and it's supposed to be broadcasted at 7 a.m., but it's still the 7th hour. It's still the 7th hour. We having Sabbath over here. Okay, we giving to God what He is giving to us, and we're doing what we're supposed to do as His disciples. All right, so this is still that Sabbath hour, because He told us if He gave us the statutes and He gave us the words to give, He said do something with it. That's the Sabbath. Give it out. Do what you gotta do. Make it holy. Make it holy. All right. Come on now. Number one, if you giving, you will receive holy. Okay. If you giving holy, you will receive holy. So therefore, holier than thou, holier than thou. It's okay. It's okay. I don't care what people say. They can do that all day. Who cares? Do what you do. Nobody cares. Shucks. I place those cares on God. Okay, I place all my cares on the Father. All right. And then He make it holy, and He gives it to us in judgment. And then when He makes His judgment, which is the Sabbath, when He makes His judgment, we take it and follow suit with it and do what we got to do. And some people can make it evil, and some people can make it good. But over here, we're getting off into the good news, baby. And of course, I am your host, Shantae Washington. You understand? Yes, I'm your host, Shantae Washington. And we're getting off into the good breaking news. And today's topic is, some days are good, some days are bad. Don't you hear people say this all the time? You know, when you ask them how they doing, they say, yeah, well, some days are good, some days are bad. Or if you're talking with them and out the blue, they just be like, some days are good, some days are bad. You're like, where are we going with this? Like, what? Wait, what? Is that what I'm getting? That's all I'm getting? Some days are good, some days are bad. And then after that, here comes the complaining, here comes the gossiping, Here comes the murmuring, and that's something that most majority of us do, okay, in our human fleshly self. Okay. So you ever felt like, and this is with the feelings I'm talking of. You ever had the feeling of everything is all right, but it's really not? You ever have the feeling of that? Yeah, those are feelings. The feeling that everything is all right, but it's really not. And these are feelings which you can't really trust in, right? But they are there. They are there. Those feelings are there. And some people can't escape them. Like they just surrounded by those feelings. And and it's got a lot to do with the whispers, okay? The whispers. And I'm gonna do a topic on that too, about whispers. Um, but tomorrow I'm doing a topic on woe and awe. Okay, woe and awe and row, woe. Since I said I'm gonna do that tomorrow, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But um, Wednesday I'm gonna do the topic about whisper, but it's gonna be attached to something else. But we going off into the whispers and stuff on Wednesday, so be ready for that. All right, because there's some good breaking news. We got some good breaking news here. Okay, so sit back and relax. But again, the whole thing of you just got these feelings with you, and you just feel like everything is all right. I mean, and you operating like everything is all right. You're going about your day like everything is all right, but something just off a little bit because of how you're responding to people, how you're responding to the atmosphere outside, how you're responding to being closed in inside the doors of your walls, how you're responding when you're next to somebody or particular people. Could be a child, could be an adult, could be a man, could be a woman. All these feelings come about on the some days are good, some days are bad mentality. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just got these feelings of everything is all right, but but it's really not type feeling because something intercedes. It intercedes with what your day is. Like it throws your day off and makes it evil. Okay? It throws your good day off. It makes it evil. Soon as you come in contact with whatever that situation may be. You know what I'm saying? And you're faced with what it is that you're faced with. We don't know what you could be faced with, but you're faced with it. And you want to do something so drastic, evil, something so drastic and evil to the point where you look on with these eyes, you stare at it. You stare at it and you don't cut it. Like God says to cut it. You got to cut that thing off. Cut it. But a lot of us stare on at it and stare on at it, and the whispers just going everywhere, and ain't nobody around, but you got the whispers still there stuck with you because of the evil that was on those people, right? So now their whispers stay stuck with you. And I don't want to get too much into that because I want to tell you about that Wednesday. Okay. Anyway, so now you just stare on that stuff and you don't cut from the eye. You don't cut the eye because like one eye one eye is evil, one eye is good, right? being that the eating on of the apple, okay? So one eye is good, one eye is evil. So you are to cut that eye out, pluck it out, okay? That's what the Father says in the Bible. You are to pluck that eye out, meaning stop it, cut it off. That word, stop it, cut it off. Stop staring on at that particular thing, or else you're going to follow up behind it and do it. Because it's just, all it's doing is shaking up your body. It's shaking your body up, preparing you to do a thing that you know that inside, you know that you really don't want to do, but flesh is following suit and doing it. Which I spoke about that in another video, where it's just like flesh does things, and you like, man, flesh, you just looking at flesh like, what, flesh? What is you doing? You know, but flesh is doing it. You know, he doing it. She doing it. That's that X and Y chromosome. Okay, it's doing it. They doing this. But that's not to blame, put the blame on that, because it's you that is cooperating with flesh too, okay? It's you cooperating with flesh. So do know that flesh doing it, but you ain't cutting it. You ain't stopping it. You just proceeding on and doing it. You proceeding on and following up behind flesh, thinking that you can put your trust in flesh. And guess what? We are not to put our trust in nobody. Now that just went over your head. That word, nobody. That's that word, that word, that word. Oh, my stomach. Oh, geez. We are to put our trust in nobody. And if you look on at the word nobody, it's telling you how we not supposed to put our trust in a particular thing. Hold on, let me. Okay, so we are not to put our trust in no, oops, nobody. What do you see in that? We cannot put our trust in nobody. What do you see in that word? You see two words in there, right? No, no, and body. Huh? Okay, so you see two words in there, no and body. So no to body. Okay, you're supposed to say no to body. Say, which is what you don't supposed to put your trust in. Nobody. So you say no to body and yes to the Jesus inside the person. That's a difference. You're saying, not basically, but you're saying truth. So you don't supposed to put your trust in nobody. And you notice that the word nobody has no and body. So you're saying no to body. You're saying no to the body. You're saying no to the body suit. You understand? No. Don't do that. No. You are guaranteed to follow suit. When you stop the body from going, you saying no to body. And that's how it goes, okay? That's how it goes. You're saying no to body because that body suit is trying to run it. So you're going to say no to body. So you don't put your trust in nobody. No, you're saying no to body, even your own. You understand? It's not that you're not putting trust in the person per se, but your body. You're saying no to body. So you're not putting trust in your body too. You understand? It's a two-way street between you and the person. It's just not just one way where it's just the person that you are looking on at. No, it's you and your body connected with them and their body. If that's a body situation, then evil is in between there. But if it's going in at the gate, the spirit, your natural self, your true natural self, then it's both of y'all connecting, and Jesus is in the middle of that. And a lot of times that takes prayer and reading of the Bible, but prayer for that to happen, because if you don't have no prayer life, then it's just two flesh coming together and not bowing down, not humbling itself, not becoming meek, not operating in love, which is what people try to tell you that you're not. And that's the conversation I just had earlier on in the beginning about how people tell you about love as though it's a sight word. You know, like, okay, we learn sight words in kindergarten and then sometimes in our mama house. Yes, we did. Mama taught us about sight words before we went to kindergarten or daycare or something like that, whatever the journey was for you. But we ain't talking about sight words. You understand? We ain't talking about sight words. We talking about love, the love of God. Okay, that ain't a sight word. You can't see that type of love. That type of love is blind. You understand? It's blind because you can't see that. And so therefore, it's blind. This type of love there is blind. And you won't even know what's going on. Like, really? Is this love? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Is this love? I don't know. You won't know. You won't know if this is love or not unless you do pray. You have to get in the spirit to see this type of love. Okay? That love, that's blind love. You got to get in the spirit in order to see that love. And that's when they say, according to the Bible, that the Father will show you all the things that you need to be able to see. Other than that, you just physically blind to the love that he has. That's the spiritual blinding. And you need to go in to see it and to believe it. And then go and operate that in your physical life. But it's done through prayer. You have to do this through prayer. And that's some good breaking news. That's some good breaking news. Understand? And we so yeah, so as I go on, you know, you are in a place where you know you in this feeling, and you're not knowing what's going on. You know something is off. Like, flesh is not agreeing with spirit, none whatsoever, and you just going forth and doing what it is that you want to do in that day, and you not for sure why you doing it. It's just a lustful feeling. It's just a passionate feeling that bursts from you, and that you just gotta think. You think you gotta do it because your thoughts is coming, and they are profound, like they are big, they are huge before you. Okay, so you're like, man, it won't stop. It keep going. These are outbursts from your flesh. Okay, this is the outburst of your flesh, and flesh is like, whoa, 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 whoa. It's dizzy. It's dizzy. Then it get to shaking. Like a fiend. Okay, it's fiending. It's hungry. It's thirsty. It's ready to eat, but it's not the good thing that it's eating on. It's eating on the sacrifice of man. Okay? It's eating on the sacrifice of man and not the Spirit of God. Okay? It's not eating on that Jesus's flesh, on Jesus' flesh, which I spoke about in another video as well. You want to just go look at all my little videos and enjoy, because they will be good in the time that you need it. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to preach. I'm here to teach. Okay, I don't care what nobody else say. I'm here to teach. I'm not here to preach. I'm here to teach. I'm not preaching. I'm just telling you what God told me to tell you. That's it. That's what I do. I do what I does. Okay. Anyway, so you could be in that moment, like you are in a place where, and it's a place because you stuck there, okay, and you can't get from it, and the flesh is pulling you to do something that's an abomination to God. Okay, and so then as you are in this, some days are good, some days are bad. You can't quite understand why you're stuck in that moment of your flesh. You don't know that it is flesh. You just think that this is just normal according to you. Okay, you think that that's normal, and a lot of people, when you go outside and you hear it on the news or you hear people talking about it, you be like, oh well, everybody else is doing it. Or people, even when people speaking about it in a bad way, you still like, hey, well, I'm not the only one that's doing this bad. It's other people doing this bad too. So hey, it's a it's just a generational thing. So hey, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because some people think that just because of when a person speaks a good thing, that the evil person ain't taking that little portion of the bad thing and utilizing it, and like just gathering up excuses for their flesh to keep going and pursuing things. You call that political. Okay, the political people that stand on your every word, and you don't know what words they standing on. Like as I'm talking, they standing on my every word, but at the same time, you don't know what words they're looking on at. But Spirit knows what I'm talking about. So go and pray on it so that the Father can give you a word that you can speak about as a preacher, if you're a preacher. Okay. So again, you can't quite understand the drive, this drive, that you have. And so you compare it to uh what's going on now versus how you used to be, right? You compare it to what's going on now to how you used to be. You compare that. Yes, you do. And you looking on at this feeling and these feelings and these feelings and these feelings, And you're like, why am I consistently getting off into these feelings? These feelings just coming over me. They overwhelming. They're overwhelming. I cannot escape it. I cannot escape it. It is there. It is there. It's blocking me. It's blocking me, and I can't escape it. You know, those are feelings. And then it sums up an imaginary vision before you. And so now the vision, as you stare on at the vision, you stare, you stare, you stare, you stare, and you continuously to stare on at the vision. Things will take place in here, in the mind. Thoughts will puff up. It will come, form, 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 and there it is. Boom, an outburst, an outburst, an outburst. And now once the outburst come, now you are taking and following with the outburst. Because you like, hey, this is me. This is who I am. So now you agreeing with this outburst. Whether it's normal to you, or you feel like it's normal to you, or you feel like it's not normal to you. But then again, another person, and you know that the other people may feel like it's not normal to them or it's normal to them, but you can't see their view of it not being normal. You think it's normal because you do it all the time. And so you think that this is something that's not new. You know you do it. Either you do it in the private of your own home, or you do it in front of people. It doesn't matter. You know you do it, and you do it all the time. And so therefore it makes it be all right to do. And then also you looking at your surroundings. Maybe your people's done it, meaning your family members or stuff like that, your people. And you're like, well, they've done it. It's been passed down from generation to generation. So it's normal for me to do this. And we are speaking of the normality of abomination. Okay. People are normalizing abomination. Like it's okay for abomination to be good. Hey, some days are bad, some days are good type of mentality. Okay, they got this long stretched out days of of being in joy and being in evil. Okay, they got this long stretched out days. Like it's okay to be in conflict with yourself every day. I'm in conflict with myself every day. So as it states in the Bible that when you do that, you're gonna just disappear. You're gonna be like, well, I don't want to come up against flesh, I'm gonna just let flesh do it, you know. And it speaks about that in the Bible, how when people bow out of something because they are afraid of the conflict of that individual person. Okay. And that person could be the shadow of that person, or just the body parts, the senses of that person, where they operate through their senses. Okay, because senses dictate the body too, because senses comes with energy. Okay, with energy. Senses and energy is the same as power. Power. You understand? I've said that before. Energy is the same as power. So the power that comes from these senses do add up as a body. They are body parts. And if you don't have no self-control, you cannot control those senses within those senses that forms a body, and then take off, and it don't stop. You got to be able to stop it. You got to be able to cut it off. You got to be able to cut it off. Just like it says about the arm, cut it. Hey, get the senses back. Don't put no power onto that. And the less power it gets, the well, evil power, the beast power, the power that the devil gave to the beast, and the beast gave to the man suit. And so now the man suit, the body is in operation of the beast, because the beast formed this. Hey, yeah, we got one type thing going on there. We got one. Oh yeah, we've been looking for this one. Oh yeah, he perfect. Look at that body. Look at that body. Staring on at the body. The beast is, and he's like, all right, devil, got one. And that's the host of the devil, that beast. The beast is the host of the devil. But I'm not saying that an operation of beast like is something wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with an operation of going beast mode. But what I'm saying is, when the devil gives the power to the beast and the beast gives the power to the flesh, that is when it becomes a problem, because you're gonna have to give back that power. You're gonna have to, it's exchanging, giving and receiving. That's how power is. Like, you give and receive. That builds power right there, the giving and receiving. And I spoke about that in another video too. Giving and receiving, okay? That promotes power. That builds power. And either that power will be in the right way, or, which is evil. Which is good, I'm sorry. Or it will be in the wrong way, which is evil. Like, it either will be in good or evil, because eating on that flesh, eating on that fruit, that tree that we weren't supposed to eat on. We got the evil, we got the good. And it doesn't mean that we not able to cut it off, whatever the senses is creating. If it's creating something that's not good but evil, you cut that off. Even with staring on at things, men were not supposed to stare on at something, because number one, it stops you from operating in the Sabbath. Okay, get that. God did a whole thing on the Sabbath. And when you are staring on at something and you consistently stare on at it like it's good to stare at it, you are breaking the Sabbath, because eventually you're going to follow suit with what you stare on at. So you have to cut it at some point and operate in the Sabbath. Okay, at some point. And it speaks about this in the Bible. So get to the Bible and read it. Read that whole thing. If you already read it, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, let's get back to the subject. Something is off. So something is off. So being that something is off, and something is off, you'll say, well, some days are good, some days are bad. So you stare on at that for so long, and so now you figure into today must be a good day. And then when a bad day comes, you like, well, today must be a bad day. Or when a bad moment comes, you like, well, this time must be a bad moment. Or then another moment come, you like, this time must be a good time. So you going off of emotion. It comes to be a feeling. It's being an emotional thing. Now you up and down, and you don't know which way to turn. You just know you turning with what the wind is blowing. Whatever the wind blows, that's what you turn into. You turn to the left, wind blow to the right, you turn to the right. You don't keep straight, okay? You just turn it wherever the wind blows. That's where you go, okay? So, so let's just tell you one thing about this. This is rebellion. This is called rebellion. Okay? Because you're rebelling against God. You're rebelling against God to go wherever you want to go. And it's abomination to God. Because again, he has a whole Sabbath ready for you. A whole Sabbath ready for you to take place and do before many at that time. Like he's giving you what you need. He's judged you. He's gave you statutes, and he's gave you love. He's incorporated the love in you. He gave you all of this stuff to use in operation on the Sabbath. So please stop listening to these preachers that's talking about it's not about love or it's not just about love, because it's about love, and it's just about love. Not the love that they looking on it, that they're staring on it. That's because they need to cut that eye off, because the eye is not right. But the love of Jesus, the love of Jesus. You got to understand the difference between the love in the world and the love of God. And for those who standing on that, that don't mean that you keep giving the love of the world. Okay. At some point, you got to come in and cut that off and give the love of God. But you do got to know the difference between the love of the world and the love of God. And you can't keep giving the love of the world. You got to, at some point, give the love of God and pursue that thing. You got to pursue that thing, baby, because that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing, okay, that thing, that thing. Okay, you know sung that song. So it becomes like the blues, okay? You become sad and always sad, and you never really getting to the point to where you think that it's believable to you, which is joy is believable. It can be obtained. You can get to that status. It's not a point in your life that you cannot get to joy. You can, and leave it at that, and not cover somebody else's joy because you see the joy in them, and so your jealousy comes and whisper something in their ear like you saying something good, but in reality you are trying to stop their growth because you see them operating in joy and you see the light on them and you like, no, hey, you getting in there, you getting up there, um but you do know this, and you make pointers that ain't got nothing to do with the whole subject. You just come up with this out the blue because you stared on at something on them and you like, yeah, he gonna be great or she gonna be great, and you just come with your little whispers and whispering in their ear like you saying something good. So you basically showing your niceness and not your kindness, because the thing that you whispering ain't got nothing to do with growth. You may think it got something to do with growth, but it's not. It's just something that's been whispered to you. So now you whispering it to your generation. In reality, you doing the wrong thing. You're stunting growth. But you think it's good because you think they need that information that you incorporating into them by whispering it to them and telling them things. Even if you whispering it out loud and everybody else know because they whispered it to you. Because you talking to them about stuff all the time. So you're running your mouth. You're just talking to everybody about your business. You don't care who you talk. You just wanna have some days are good and some days are bad. Every day, all day, outburst with your body, and you don't care with who. You just snatching up bodies, taking them. snatching them up, taking them. So again, at some point you start agreeing with that by repeating it to yourself. Again and again and again, over and over and over again in your head. Some days are good, some days are bad, and then you try to again make excuses because then you hear other people agreeing with it. You're like, oh well, shoot, they agree with it too. Some days are good, some days are bad. So then you just consistently going off into rebellion, and you okay with being rebellious, and your jealousy is truly getting in the way. The spirit of jealousy is truly getting in the way, and you whispering things. You ain't giving no type of wisdom. You are whispering things. You don't care what it is. It just came from eyesight. So whatever comes from eyesight, you just start whispering. That don't make it wisdom. That makes it just whispering things because there's nothing behind it. It's just you telling it to the person because you're going off of what you stared on it. And whatever it is you stared on it, you're like, oh yeah, you gonna be great. Hey, let me tell you something. You know, there are gonna be these things happening. And I'm just letting you know it. You ain't letting them know nothing. You just whispering. You ain't talking about a thing, and it's nothing behind that. And when you giving that to that person, what that person gonna do? They are going to follow suit. But if they don't have the right person on their side to tell them, hey, no, don't do such and such, then they're gonna carry out what it is you whispered. They're gonna do the opposite of what you said, because that's your intentions. You did that because of jealousy. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do that because in niceness. You didn't do that because you was trying to be great and you was trying to make them great. No. You did that because they was great and you was jealous of the fact that you ain't feeling great. So I'm having some days are good, some days are bad moment. When it's in reality, it's all bad days for you. Because even the good days, you make them bad for them, for the other people. So who knows in what circle you in? It's because you might be having a good day, but then as soon as you interact with the next person, all of a sudden you having a bad day. Come on now. Feelings, emotions, power that you give into, that you building up in your senses, instead of the power in your sensors. The sensors in the spirit of your body, in that spirit body that has power already from the blood. That has power from the blood due to the blood of Jesus. Instead of you placing blood on your hand and being responsible for killing, putting the killing to that person's soul, or snatching up souls because of your jealousy. And now that person cannot grow. All that person gonna do is, being that you snatch they soul up, all they're gonna do is, due to your whisper, all they're gonna do is do exactly the opposite of what you said. And you already know that because your intentions that was coming from behind there, what you was stirring on that thing, your intentions wasn't good. They weren't great, you know? But it may seem like innocence to other people, but it ain't innocence. It's evil. It's evil what you're doing. Okay. So now, so as you getting off into this, some days are good, some days are bad. Now we're going off into how this forces you into a situation. And what that force is, it causes is stress and anxiety. Those are what they cause, because it throws the body off from doing what it's supposed to do to doing what it think it is supposed to do, because it's getting the thoughts it's feeding off of the thoughts. It's feeding from what you're thinking of up here versus what's in the belly. Okay, what's meaning if it's in the belly, it's already there. Okay, you going off of this. This here gets stuff all day, every day, but this in the belly, it's already there. And all you got to do is know that whoever thirsts and whoever hungry, God already feeds his children. God feeds his children. He does. Do know that. He feeds his children. Don't think he don't. He feeds his children. So again, stress, then this forces you into stress and anxiety, and then you have a whole off day, and then you way off, and even more off day comes. Okay. And so as we know, God said that you are to place the enemy under your feet now. You are to place the enemy under your feet. So that means you got to do some prayer, meditation, and reading the Bible. This direction, this direction of these thoughts will take your whole psyche out of whack. It will take your whole psyche out of whack. And psychologically, you're damaging yourself. You're damaging yourself in this. Psychologically, you are damaging yourself. So do know that while you are doing this, do know that. So we have to bring this back in. We have to bring this back in to the spirit, okay? We have to bring this back in because you don't need this all out on the outskirt of you. You don't need this because body does damage, psychological damage, because of the whispers in your ear. And who knows where's the ear at? The ear could be up in here somewhere, near your eyes, above your eyes. That's why you see these monsters in your dreams with these different eyes. They may have 7 eyes. They may have 3 eyes. They may have 2 noses. They may have three noses. They may have mouths here. That's demonic, meaning that you don't know where it's coming from through your senses into your body. Like you don't know what could be splatting from you and sprouting out. And it's coming through that particular senses. Could be your nose, could be your mouth, could be your eyes. And you dealing with this monster in the inside. Like you're dealing with a monster, demonic monster within yourself. And so God judged that. And so you see that monster in a dream. And you like, well, what the world is that? This don't make sense. That's not real. It's real. It's showing you the monster of yourself and what you're doing with that monster. And if you dealing with the senses of the body, your bodysuit, the senses creates a body. And if you seeing one eye here, your regular eyes here, then you see another eye, then you see another eye, you see another eye, or you seeing your nose here, and then you see nose here, or you seeing a mouth here, but you seeing a mouth there, even a mouth on your eyes. Those, we know those are senses, right? So it's making a body, it's forming a body over you. Understand? That is forming a body over you. So if you're seeing, let's say, if the monster, which is you, and Operation through your senses of your body. Let's say you just go around just splatting stuff to different people, and then you go away, not knowing um, uh, I can't even say the word. Anyway, the repercussions. Sorry, you're not knowing the repercussions of what you're saying, right? But you say it and then you leave. You say, then leave. You say it, then you leave. Okay? Okay, yeah. Made a song out there. Anyway. But you say it and then you leave. Okay? So in the spirit, what you will see is the monster before you, and this is you. You will see you puking. You throwing up everywhere. So everywhere you go, and it may be disgusting, okay? Because I'm telling you, it gets pretty disgusting in the supernatural to tell you what you're doing. Because obviously you ain't paying attention and you need to know what you're doing. Like for real, for real. Stop it. Like stop it. You ain't stopping. You don't see the foolishness. Then if you keep looking on at it and you thinking that's not for you, psychologically, you're going to go crazy because it's for you. It's for you to stop something. Something needs to stop. Something needs to be cut off. Cut it off. If you see a bunch of eyes, cut them suckers off. Okay, you got too many. You're only supposed to have these. So in the spiritual realm, if you're seeing a monster, which is you, you're the monster, and sometimes it could be the other person that's the monster, and you're not seeing it, and God is trying to tell you this is the monster. Stop staring on at him. He got a bunch of eyes, like you giving him eyes he don't need. You giving him a mouth that he don't need or she don't need. You giving them out because you listening to their mouth, or you looking in their eyes and you just mesmerized by their eyes, and you giving them eyes all up in here that they don't need. Get away. Okay. Sometimes that could be that. The monster is you, or the monster is that person, but you got to know, you can't be just saying, well, sometimes, you can't be just going around just splatting out stuff to monster. Sometimes the monster you. That's offense. Why would you tell the person that, sometimes the monster you? Like that. Come on now. Especially if they talking to you about some things that the father has told them. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean try to have a comeback because you argumentative and you don't want to admit that you are. You don't have a comeback and be like, no, 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 I'm not mad. I just make this face because I just make it. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. No, I'm not mad. I'm talking calmly. I'm not mad. I just make this face because I just make it. Lord, that's the discussions that you be having sometimes with people when they don't know what they really doing. Like you just making faces like, what, I'm supposed to be scared of men in their faces? No, God said don't be. You making this disgust look on your face whenever I come around or whenever I step into the room. You make this disgust look. Hey, that's on you. But yet you ain't mad. You ain't angry. Something going on. You ain't looking at something. You are angry. You are in operating of your anger. That's anger. That's the angry body. And you giving everything to the body. And God said you're not supposed to put your trust in nobody. Meaning no, N-O, to the body. B-O-D-Y. Say no to the body. and go into spirit. Just go into spirit. Okay, stop playing around with it. Let's do this thing. Do it the way it's supposed to be done. Okay, do it how it's supposed to be done. Mm-hmm. Anyway, people in they, I don't really know myself, but they act like they know themselves because they repeatedly do things so they know themselves, but they really don't know themselves. But the self that they are always become in the flesh, that they can see with their eyes, they can stir on that, hey, that's them. And so they disregard what they really do every day, all day. They don't even see what they do no more because they give it out. Some days are good, some days are bad. But what you're doing is you're forcing yourself into stress and anxiety, which means that whenever you meet with anything on you, you're going to be stressed. Stress going to take place. The shakes of that stress is going to happen. And then you're going to have the anxiety of that. So now you're shaking more so than normal. So you're just shaking, 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 shaking. Okay? You're just shaking. I want to use another word, but I won't use no big words. I'm trying not to use big words. I'm trying to use words where kids can get into here and see what I'm talking about as well. Because I don't and plus the father got on me about that when I first started doing this. He's like, don't use big words. Okay, so I don't want to use big words. I'm trying not to use them. Okay, I try not to. Because our audience is variety of people. I just don't want to talk to the adults. There are children that needs to be talked to as well. So, and sometimes I think we forget that to try to tell us how to say something. Nobody cares about what y'all talking about, what to say and how to say it. People got to say stuff the way they say it so that everybody can understand. Because there are kids that need to hear this too, not just adults. Who do we think we are? Who do you think you are? You just because you think you are an adult, that don't make you bigger, bold, and bad. The kids, they're responsible for themselves as well. God said everybody is responsible for themselves. So therefore, we got to make this to be to the point where kids can get it in because the enemy ain't stopping coming at these kids, taking them, swooping them up. Because all you want to be related to, you relatable to what I'm supposed to use to. Okay, so you want to be connected, you want to be one with one alongside, you want to be side by side with the person that's of your age. So you're one with them. And it don't work like that. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Sorry. So English language, forget about that. These kids will learn what they need to learn. But overall, when you're teaching, you have to make it so that everybody will know what you're talking about without the big words. Okay. And somebody may not agree with what I'm saying, but look, the father told me what to do, and I'm doing it. Okay. I don't got nothing to do with what everybody else talking about. I'm me. And this is how we gonna do it. Talk about all day. Talk about me all day. I don't care. So yeah. So yes, we have to bring this back in. You don't need this out on the spirit, on the outskirt, which is your body. You don't need this outside of your body because your body is going to have the stress and anxiety to take place on you, and that's how you're going to operate on everything, which is known as rebellion. okay? Because you way off. So you cause automatic stress when you become way off. And then you go further and further to the left or to the right. The more and more you basically, when you go to the left or to the right, you're widening yourself. Do you see the concept? Do you see the what I'm trying to show you? When you go to the left, you're widening the stretch. You're stretching out, stretching to the left, okay? Because you're still right here. You're still right here. And if the you, that's the soul you, is going outside of the you here, you're stretching yourself out. That means you're widening the road. Get it? You're widening the road. It's getting out of whack. If you going to where the wind blows over there to that side, to the right, too far to the right, and you still right here, that means soul is going too far wide. It's stretching out, stretching. So that's pulling against you right here. Do you know that? That's pulling against you. You're being pulled. Let's say you go to the left and to the right. You're being pulled. You're widening the road when it's supposed to be a narrow road. The narrow is you being present right there with you. You are present. When the road is narrow, that means you are present. When the road is wide, that means you are being pulled, stretched wide. Okay? You're being stretched wide, outward. And that's a wide road. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Hope you do. Okay? And as you are doing that, you are in rebellion with the stretching of the stress and anxiety. You are in rebellion, because when people get anxious, when you are not supposed to be anxious for nothing, when you deal with anxiety, you are becoming overzealous. And that's according to the Bible. You're becoming overly giddy, overly playful. Okay, you playing too much. I'm just gonna say it like that to the little ones that's watching. You play too much. Okay, you start playing too much. When you're living in rebellion, which I spoke about that in another video, that you play too much. You start playing too much. You don't take stuff serious. And then when the person say be serious, you want to find an excuse to not to be serious. So you find words to speak and say, you too serious. So you start bullying the person that's serious about the situations, and you start saying, oh, well, no, I'm living in rebellion. So no, you too serious. You just got to lighten up. You got to lighten up. Start playing too much. No, it's a normal way of being, and it's an abnormal way of being. Kids, just because they kids, it don't mean they supposed to play too much, because they will get off into things that they not supposed to get off into. And by the time they get to that point, then you call it out. By that time, it's too late, because they already did it. So therefore, they looked on at it, and now they're gonna think it's okay to do that. They might want to hide it. Or some kids, if you already talked to them before they did it, meaning that you already saw it and you got it on that day, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. And people need to think about this. Like, you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So why allow that person to build up such things on their body? Why allow them to do that? Get it right there and let it be known that once you make this step, this is going to happen. And once you make that step, this is going to happen. And that's proper judgment. But it's not to say they don't like it. because they're not gonna like you. They're gonna think of you as just just a chatter, like what you're talking about, like, you know. And I tend to get that too. You just a chatter. You don't know what you're talking about, but I do. I do. And a lot of people need to listen to people when they saying stuff, because some things you can get in and some things dispense of. You might only need 11% of what they talking about. You might only need 5% of what they talking about. But the 5% you get, but the rest you dispense of. It don't matter how long they talk. You get what you need and you go and do what you need to do. But you pray on it. You go and pray. So, yes, we are to place the enemy under our feet. This direction of this, so basically when you in anxiety and you got stress, and and I'm gonna point out, so I'm gonna make a pointer in the pointer time about stress and anxiety and what it looked like. Okay, so I'm gonna be coming with a pointer pretty soon. So let me finish this. We have to bring this back in, because if you don't, then it's called rebellion, because you having it out and you just widening the road more and more with different stuff. Though, because the wider the road, you know, it's different stuff that's added in between that space, right? It's just not nothing there, so it becomes demonic. If there's no light in it, there's no light and there's no life there. It's death. So it's demonic spirits there. So whenever you speak or do something, it's done in a demonized way. You're just saying things. You're just doing things just to get a response, to get attention, to get known. When it's all knowing, God is all knowing. You want to be known, but you don't understand the all knowing God. Okay, you don't understand. So notice, I said, so you, so you are working against yourself. You begin to work against yourself the more you widespread it outwardly to the left and to the right. The road is wide. You are in rebellion now, because those whispers of how stretched out long becomes talking to you after a while. And that's how you get some people out here talking to themselves, and they talk to those demons, and then they bring forth those powerful sounding voices because they have spoken into these demons. All the demon need is for you to agree, and once you agree with whatever sense you have in your body, when you agree, they got you. They got you. But it can be a stop. You can put a stop to it. You can put a stop to it. You can cut. To stop something, to cut something, to stop it, to cease it from happening. You can't do that. It's not hard. Just know that through your senses that this has become a body. And you speaking, you see those people out in the street, they talk to themselves because those things have become a body. And they are listening to the whispers still from the people that are long gone, but they linger on with them. Yeah. And that's why you got some kids who play too much. They can't keep still. They move about all day. But the people call them a bad kid. And I talked about this in another video. People call them a bad kid, but in reality, they're not a bad kid. They're evil. They are in operation of evil at that time, which kids are responsible for themselves. They are going to do good sometimes. They're going to do bad sometimes, because nobody gave them the rod. They only spoiled them. And spoiling them means that they continue to do what they want to do all day, and nobody ever gave judgment. to what's going on, to let them know that, hey, if you take this step, this is going to happen. You take that step, that's going to happen. You take the next step, that's going to happen. Nobody gave the rod, so they spoiled the child. They didn't do that because they themselves are rebellious and they are not doing what God tells them to do on that Sabbath day and that Sabbath hour. They ain't doing it. God told you to do something. You got to do it. Don't take it back and be like, I'm scared of men in their faces. No, that's not what you're supposed to do. You are not supposed to be afraid of men in their faces. So when God tells you to do something, you better do it. Say it, speak it. You better be. You better be. Okay? So being is crucial. And so as I said about you are working against yourself, you notice I said you and yourself. Okay, notice I said you and yourself when I said that. So again, we got this flesh, us, to maintain, and the spirit, us, that is the truth, our true nature of ourselves. Okay, and as I go on, as we think on the word rebellion for a minute, just think on the word rebellion for a minute. We think the outside determines your rebellion, because that's when people get to saying that you being rebellious because of their idea of you being rebellion. But that's not what this is talking about. Okay, so we think the outside determines rebellion, your rebellion, but it don't. Flesh is messy already. You understand that? Do get this. Like, flesh is messy already. So flesh will do what it do while spirit is doing what it does all day. But once spirit get the overwhelming effects of everyday joy, then flesh got to get under your feet. Flesh got to do what it's supposed to do for spirit, which is the supernatural. Now, flesh, you work for me. I don't work for you. Flesh, you work for me now. You got me? I don't work for you. I don't work up iniquity for you. You work for me. You work the joy for me. Now, that's what it's got to be. Because again, flesh is messy. So rebellion ain't for the outside. We know that it upholds to a system in the world. The flesh does. The flesh does uphold to a system in the world. A very messy system, which is why you can't live in it. You can't stay stuck there. You can't use your senses to manipulate the situation into being what you want it to be. You can't manipulate the system that's in. You can't operate in the flesh and stay stuck there because the flesh is messy. It does what it does. It's messy. We don't mess up. Flesh is messy. Because if you mess up, you're going to get kicked out. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get automatically kicked out anyway if you go up with your mess. You're going up, mess up, mess up. You said it. You said you mess up. God going to kick you right back down. He don't kick, not down, but he going to kick you right back out. So therefore, you don't mess up. Messy. You messy. You understand? The mishap. You messy. Flesh, you messy. You're deaf, you're dumb, and you're blind. You messy. And today, I gain back my self-control, which is the fruit of the Spirit. I gain back my self-control. I got the goodness of God, the goodness that is a fruit of the Spirit. I got the goodness. I am faithful. I got the faithfulness. That is the fruit of the Spirit. I am faithful. I got the faithfulness of God. And above all things, God said, love. I love. So I don't know about what nobody else looking at. Maybe they looking at the the four languages or how many ever languages of love that these people giving out. But that's not what God said look on at. He didn't say look on at that. And I'm gonna say this again. You're not to look on at the languages that people, the different languages that people go by of loving, but you got to go through those avenues to get it. Cut it off so that you can save a soul. You're gonna have to go through the love language to save the soul. But that doesn't mean that you look on and stare at it like it's real. Now, those love languages, those, it ain't about that. Say that. It ain't about that. Those love languages, even though you go through those love languages to save the soul, it ain't about that. Love language, it ain't about that. Or you can say it ain't just about that. Those love languages. Because everybody ain't feeling you. But when you in Christ Jesus, you ain't got no feelings. You just give joy and you operate how you supposed to operate, and every language gonna be fulfilled in a way that they ain't gonna understand. This surpasses all understanding type of love. It's blind, man. How do you know what love is when you looking through the four languages of love and that person giving you they love and you like, well, that ain't my love. So now it becomes an argument on how that your love ain't my love, so I give my love differently. You give your love how you give your love. You give your love differently. It just becomes it just become a language art of love making. Ugh. A language art of love making. Oh, I make my love this way, you make your love that way. Oh yeah, so then I'm gonna get into this. So then it's be like, so I like it when you do such and such to me. That's my love language. Oh yeah. So then it just become like all the way against God. So now you just go further and further away from God with your love language, because you give your love language, you build up such pride to the point where now you like, I don't like your love language. My love language is different. This is my love language. I give my love language in this way. You give your love language in that way. But now you selfish. Now you don't got no control. And now you just out of control. And you like, this is mine. This is my love language. And I do this. Prideful people begin, okay? The whole pride thing begins. This is pride. This is pride. That's pride. That's pride. Pride. And I'm a stand up for mine. This is my love language. Even when it get out of whack on the love language, like to the point where it's abomination to God. This is what I do. This is my love language. Even though that ain't even as far as you wanted it to go. For now you got to bring it to the world. Now the world got to know about your love language. Even though your love language and went out of whack according to God, like you don't even care no more. Where is God? I don't see him because I'm in my love language. I don't see him. Who he supposed to be? I'm me. I'm me. Yeah, I'm me. What would you be without me? You know what I'm saying? So now you all into the whole scenery of pride. What would you be without me? You ain't nothing without me. I'm me. You. Funny looking. I mean, this is the truth, but it's not funny, but it's funny, okay? But this is the truth how people do. Like, just just picture this. I'm me and you now. Now this is that. I become me now. I'm a man, but I'm in my woman suit, baby. I'm dressed up like a woman. I'm a whole man, but I'm dressed like a woman, and I'm putting on my stuff like a woman, and I'm a whole man. And now, oh man, I got my lashes. I'm showing you. I'm showing you. Better not tell you. Oh, now it's like, I'm on the job, and you see how I'm looking. You see me, you ain't nothing, and I'm everything. I'm everything. I'm nice. This nice. This bodysuit is nice. It's presentable. Do you not see my stuff, baby? This is my stuff. This is me. My bodysuit. You know, you don't see me? I'm going to teach you something. I'm going to the government and I'm pronouncing who I am. This is me now. You need to get you last year's news. This is today's generation. This is today's generation. This is the do. This is the do it all. This is the new news. I mean, to the point where the argument just went left field. Now it's getting towards where it's against the saints. Like the saints so scared of people of their faces that they can't even say nothing. They like, now you backed up in a seat and you sitting there dying, dying, dying. Joy gone. Your joy is gone. Your joy is gone. The fruits of the spirit, meaning there is no light. You have no light. Death is in darkness. So you're summed down to the darkness. The darkness overshades your light. Now it's some days are good, some days are bad. I don't know what this day may bring. Whatever it brings, we don't know. It's no God. I don't believe that the day is believable. I just got doubt about this day. First and foremost, I feared the people already. Now I'm in doubt. Oh my God. Now, since I'm doubting the day, because I don't know if it's going to be a good day or a bad day, depending on the people and their faces. I don't know what today is going to be. So now I'm dreading it. Like I'm dreading this day. This day is dreadful. Like I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. That's suicidal attempt. The dreading is when it becomes a suicidal attempt. And you don't want to be backing up fighting for too long, because you can't fight with the when you say that when I say that what Bible verse came to mind. You are not to fight this alone. This is the fight of God. God is to do this with you in it. Okay? He is going to make the steps, the supernatural things happen. He doing this. You ain't doing this. Put down your fighting equipment, brothers and sisters. Put down your fighting equipment now. Put it down now. This ain't about you. This is about God and his goodness. Your day ain't determined by your flesh, ain't determined by their flesh. your day is with God. God places joy. You are supposed to have joy in the morning. Joy in the morning. Joy. Bring it to joy. Joy. Okay. So as you go on in this messy, systematic way, which you got to take it off and have your joy, you be stuck there, and now you spirit carry the fruit. We know that spirit carries the fruit, and only in spirit can you carry the fruit, not in the flesh body suit. So you are in flesh. You have built so much pride up against yourself to the point now you're all the way out there, and now you fight the world. So that's known as the world is against you. You're going to be in your feelings to the point where you feel like the world is against you now, because you done built so much. You built so much in your pride that you had to take your 4 languages, your 6 love languages, and just splat them on other people. So now these people only seeing with sight. So now they preaching about sight. They ain't preaching about spirit. Because if they was preaching about spirit, who in their right mind would say that it's not about love when God is love? He ain't the love of what these people showing us. Tell it right, people. Tell it right. It's about love, but it ain't the love languages. It ain't the different love languages. It ain't the fight. It ain't the fight, because there's no end to this fight. The love languages ain't got no end. But God love's got an end, because he comes down to love on us every single day with the judgment, and he brings that 2 edge of that sword down to separate the flesh from the spirit, the good from the bad, the evil from that which is his goodness, the wicked from his good. Okay, the evil people giving out all that wickedness. He cutting that wicked, and he giving his good love. So that's what the preacher should be saying. Stop saying it's not about love, or it's not about just love. That's not true. You're looking on that flesh, and you're fighting stuff. You're fighting. In the spirit, you fighting. But it's not about the fight. Go in, pray. Pray to go in. And I'm telling you, the things that come from you will be totally different than what you think it's to be. Because love is blind. It ain't what you see. Love is blind. It's not what you see it to be in the world. That's not blind love. We see that. I see all that kind of love. Everybody get mad because you don't do this in the bed, or you don't do that in the bed, or everybody get angry because you don't help with this bill, or you don't help with that bill, or everybody mad because you. That ain't love. We see that love, don't we? Don't we see that love? I see that love every single day. That ain't love. That don't determine love. That's just stuff. That's the stuff that works up on that table that I showed y'all, the different tables. That's the stuff that's on that table. And if you deal in that table, that table presentable, that presentable table. This table is presentable. Make sure you use your equipment, your fork and your knife and your spoon appropriately. Make sure you just use your spoon, fork, the big fork for the soup. You got to just do what you do. You see this table being presented to you. Yeah, that's all that is. That's just the table being presented to you. And what you do, what did Jesus do to the table? Flip that sucker over. Home run. Home run. We got a home run over here. Home run. A home run. Hey, go. Go. Flip that sucker over. Man, Jesus, you some. Jesus, you something else, boy. I tell you. When you look back on these stories in a powerful way, and you remember it in a powerful way, including your life, period, in a powerful way, you will laugh and have joy on the inside of you every single time a day comes. You laugh and you joyful and joyful every time you think of something. Every time you think of something. Every time you think of something, you joyful. You joyful. You like, you know, I remember when. I remember when. Home run, but Jesus flipped that table over. Boy, you see that? Jesus flipped that. So I ain't entitled to nothing that's on your table. Ain't nobody entitled to nothing that's on your table. Because Jesus is in the flipping of tables, baby. Jesus is in the flipping of tables. I did a video about Jesus is eating on Jesus' flesh and how he in the flipping of tables, baby. He flips over tables. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. You got all that stuff. Oh, that's so beautiful. Look how you got that presentable and everything. Oh, look, that's over there. That's over there. Oh, you got the little flower. Oh, you got the little pretty flower right there. Bloop, flip it over. Jesus can't flip that sucker over. Dude, Jesus did that. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, that the baby did that. Oh, we supposed to have pity. Well, I don't know. God said not to have pity on the flesh. So I can't have pity on your flesh. But we supposed to have pity. Pity. What? And that's the thing I wanted to say. This is the thing. Okay. What is tradition now? Tradition is not what we think it is, like on the outer surface and different things that we normally do and stuff like that. But tradition is traditional things, and it's coming in one word. It's coming in one word. The tradition now is in pity. The word pity. Yes. The word pity. Tradition is now in the word pity. You understand me? Yes. Tradition and traditional. Now, the traditions of life is pity. The word pity is found in the word pity. Everybody wants you to have pity out for them. And so when they say something, and as soon as you get pity, that's why they can strike you back later through your pity. Okay, that's tradition. Tradition is not oh, I wear this, and so it's traditional to wear this, and it's tradition. Oh, okay, but that's the thing. What's in those traditions? Pity. Oh, it's traditional to eat this here, so you have to eat this here. Or if you go to a church and they serve in a platter, and you know you a vegan, but they serving chicken, and you went with somebody and they like, and they older than you, they adult and you a child, and they like, girl, you better eat this, but you a vegan and you don't even eat meat. And they like, and they know you don't eat meat, but they don't care because it's tradition. What's in these? Pity. They want us to have pity out on things, which lowers us and grace and and makes them great. So they won't feel the jealousy that's still on them. That's dimming the light in somebody. That's jealousy. Dimming the light. That's jealousy. When you supposed to uplift the light supposed to be uplifted. If the light is not uplifted with you around, you're dimming the light. That's automatic jealousy. Again, I'm not gonna keep saying that. That's automatic jealousy, and it has nothing to do with the stuff around you. It has something to do with you dimming the light that makes it jealous. Because God is a jealous God. Don't get it twisted. God is a jealous God. Do understand that. Do understand that God is a jealous God. So yeah, you want to be able to make it known, honey, that you serving a good God. So as I go on, yes, the flesh you is causing the true nature of you in the spirit rebellion. Okay, going back to rebellion. And rebellion starts over in the spirit first. The root cause. That's the root cause. Okay. And you rebel against yourself way before it catches on in the flesh of the system, the flesh system and its system, the system. Way before it catches on into the flesh, you already rebelled against yourself when you started staring on at something and then make a move. Now, that's not saying when you didn't make that move, but when you made that move in the flesh, you know what I'm saying? That means you already rebelled before it made the move. But you didn't have to make the move and make it a sin against God. You didn't have to do that. You could have looked on at something and you could have cut it. You could have cut that. Cease it from existing. Cease it from stopping. Not putting any harm to yourself. Not committing any suicide. Not putting damage to your mind psychologically. Your psyche becomes distorted and moving far away from you to the point you think that's how you are. You don't need you become fearful of the men in their faces, which is your own face, and the many faces that you have. You become fearful of yourself. So then now you're afraid of others. Like it's like it's come from you. But tradition, the real true nature of tradition is pity. That's the tradition. It's been passed down from generation to generation. Traditions and doctrines. Pity. The big word. That big word. Pity. Pity. Tradition is now formed through pity. Let me write it down so you can see what it is. Pity. Oh, you can't see it. Let me write with my thing here. Pity. That's tradition. Okay. Pity has always been tradition, because if you look at everything, everybody wants you to have pity on them so they can carry out doing the same stuff that they've been doing against God for many years now. That's pity. They've been wanting to work through this whole avenue for the longest, like these holidays. They've been doing it for so long. The holidays, this is tradition. We normally celebrate holidays, and we normally celebrate Thanksgiving. We just normally do this. You know what I'm saying? What that look like? Pity. Pity. That's tradition, to be pity, to be in pity of somebody. And then children of God get to saying, oh, well, I know that they say that crack is rack, but since you doing it, I do understand. I understand, they do say they do say the crack is whack. I mean, they do say that. They say it, but you know, if you got the shakes and you can't get rid of the shake unless you have the crack, even though it's whack, this crack is whack. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to feed it. You gotta do what you gotta do to feed it. Or pity. So then through pity, they like, oh well, marijuana. Marijuana, it's not a drug. Yeah, it's not a drug. Even though, they sell it as a drug. And it's a drug. And it says the word drug to help out people. Hey, if it's gonna cure cancer, you know, it's not it's not necessarily a drug per se. It's a give and take. It's a give and take. It's not pity. You having pity again. Children of God, stop having pity. It's traditional to have pity. That's the new old thing. That's the new old thing. Tradition has always been in the form of pity. They put traditional stuff and wrong doctrine in this word, pity. Well, this is my religion, and it doesn't believe in the Holy Spirit. Matter of fact, in this religion, it believes that the woman is God, and we worship her, and we kind of give her what she wants, and yeah, pity. And what do people do when you pity them for too long? Actually, they start fighting it. And they don't they get off of their natural instincts. They off their natural instincts towards a woman due to this pity. They get off of it. And the people in foreign lands, they are off of that because of their Quran. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna have pity out on not saying nothing. Because of that Quran and what I used to read in it, because I read that first before the Bible. I read the Quran first. I was really strongly into the Quran. And that's you know, because I was a Hebrew Israelite, and then I went over to being a Muslim. And then and then I woke up. Then I woke up. I was like, oh, no, no, no. You know what I'm saying? No. This Bible has been a part of my life for years. It's nothing in this Quran, nothing. I used to have very bad nightmares, like really bad dreams uh, about that Quran, okay? But I paid no attention to them until something happened to me in my life. But pity. No, this is my religion. We do this traditionally, and yeah, that word. Oh, traditionally. Whenever somebody say traditionally, this is our tradition. Whenever they say that word tradition, instant. I want you to instantly think of this word. Pity. Pity party. Pity party. They want you to have a pity party with them and their tradition and what they do. So your instincts, your inner instincts, your intuition will be all distorted. It'll be all messed up, all willy-nilly. Your sensors is all willy-nilly, and you can't sense a thing. So now your senses detect some strange foreign smoke coming from it. So now all that smoke rises up, and then the Lord is like, wait a minute, this is foreign alert. This is foreign alert. Then he slides down with the two edges of the sword, boom, to cut it, to separate it, to judge it, to give you. Then it's coming at you for discernment. It's closing in at you for discernment. Then now you supposed to discern, but some people bypass it because this is who I am. This is what I do. They so stuck to the traditions and the doctrines of old that they think that this is how it's supposed to be because they live in and upholding to their religion and their stuff. This is what I do. This is what I do. But in return, that pity, through pity, that's through pity. And that should wake a person up. When you hear someone operating through pity on their tradition and what you should do for their tradition, and they're gonna really fight you for their tradition, you should let it be known that right there is to have pity. They want you as a child of God to have pity. And when you have pity, it don't work out right in the form of your flesh. It doesn't rise up right. That smoke don't rise up right. That smoke ain't right. That smoke ain't right. Did you just take a hit of that smoke? Oh no, that smoke ain't right. There's something wrong with that smoke. I'm not smoking that. That came from the wrong fire. Okay? That came from the wrong fire. That fire ain't between me and you. That fire is between you and the devil. The Satan. And you devil. You working up the devil. That smoke is not smelling too good. That smoke got a different type of smell. Yeah, when you begin to smell things and the smell of that smoke from certain fires ain't right. It's just smelling a little too salty, or it's just smelling a little too sweet. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the consistency of sweet. It's honey. It's not in the consistency of sweet. It's honey. It's just not. No. Mm-mm. No. It's not working for me. it's not working for me over here. Okay, it's not working for me. So you begin to rebel against yourself when you believe for something not true over something that is true, and you carry that out by walking in it. Okay, you carry it out by walking in it. And some days are good, some days are bad. I went 2 hours over. We weren't supposed to do that, but anyway. You began to say some days are good, some days are bad, and you begin to be sad. You're sad in your day. You're not joyful of your day. You're in sad. You're sad, and you're in what's the word? You become sad in your day, and you're not enjoying. Okay, you're not enjoying. You become sad. So as you are in the blues of the some days are good, some days are bad blues, it's a heavy blow to you mentally. It becomes a heavy blow to you mentally, and then you become ungrateful. Yep. You become ungrateful for the love that's presented to you in the blind. You become ungrateful of that love. And you become physically blind to the spiritual blindness of the goodness of that love. And you, because you done went so far off into other things on your pride to the point you ready to fight anybody that's against what you are traditionally doing, what you do traditionally. And you ready to take up and have excuses for who you think you are, and that's not who you are. So it just mentally blows your mind into out of whack. and you become ungrateful for what you already have, which means that like it leads you to not once you become ungrateful. Once you become ungrateful to what you have, you can't find what you have. You're stuck at being ungrateful. So you can't find it because you don't know what it is. All you know is it looks the same as everybody else. So now you start giving the everybody else that's inside of you that you got from everybody to that person because you're ungrateful. You don't know what that is. You think it looked like everything that somebody else gave to you already. Same if they do this with God, they did it with Jesus. They like, nah. He casting out devils? Oh no, he doing what the crazy people did. That means he putting demons inside people because they going off of what other people done. They ain't looking at the love of Jesus. They not looking on at Jesus and his love because that love there is blind. And God is in the business of healing blinds. He in that business of healing the blind. If you don't know this, God is in the business of healing blind and the sick and the deaf and the dumb. Yep, I'm gonna say that. I say that. Get it right. I said that. He's in the business of healing the dumb too. Okay. There's some dumb stuff going on out here. That's just the dumb. So as you are in the ungratefulness of that joyful day, that joyful moment, that love, that's the blind love given to you. You become you blind yourself off from the blindness of this love, and you start operating out like this person is like everybody else, and they not like everybody else. They are different, but you can't see it because you don't notice it. You're not noticing it. You ain't going in praying, reading your Bible, and seeing that what you have found. Instead, you're going out here to find everything else and everybody else to fulfill what you traditionally have been issuing out every day. So now you're like, wait a minute, this person got to take me funneling with kids. They got to allow me to fundle with the kids. They got to allow me to say things I'm not supposed to say to my kid. And he just got to take me for me, because that's me, you know. They got to take me as I am. And when they say that word, I am, wait a minute, I am. So you telling me I am sent you here? I didn't know that. I am. They got to take you as I am. So you telling me I am sent you? Oh, I didn't even know, because since I am sent you, I'm gonna just back up, play my role as a woman, because that's traditional. It's just me backing up, playing. Man, shush up in the church. Okay, shush up. You ain't supposed to be church. Shush up in church, which they don't even know what the heck that really means, but they saying it. Shush up in the church. Just saying it. Just saying it. That's their wisdom. That's their traditional way of thinking. So they think they don't know that a woman ain't in the church of when she's when she's helpmating it with them. She ain't in a church when she's helpmating. What? Stop. When she's helpmating, and this don't mean for the person to be nagging or be a nagger or subjected to becoming a nagger. That's nothing to do with none of that. So I ain't talking about all of that. That was in another video. But then all of a sudden you say, shh, no, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. No, I just need you to be here. Just sit over there, do the dishes, clean the house, take the kids out where they need to go in the world. And I will be continuously ungrateful of what I have here. And I will give everything that I am, because I know I am sent me in this position that I am in. I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to change a thing. Okay? This is pure money. This is money, baby. This is my money. And I'm ready to multiply it. I'm ready to hustle and flow. You know, I'm ready to hustle and flow. What I need to hustle and flow, I got to hustle. I'm ready to multiply this seed. I'm ready. I'm ready. Ungrateful. You are ungrateful and walking in that ungratefulness, and that is rebellion all the way. You're stressing yourself. Excuse me. You're stressing yourself out. Ain't nobody stressing you out. You're stressing yourself out. Now, when you come in contact with somebody, as you stressing yourself out, you begin to stress them out. And now they coming at you a certain type of way. Now you all of a sudden you don't believe in love because of how you do things, and you know who you are. So you like, this who I am, and this ain't love if they giving you back disrespect because you disrespecting them, because you know that's just how you is, and somebody gonna understand how I am when I get with them, because this is how it's gonna be. No, baby, that ain't how it's supposed to be. That's not how it's gonna go. That ain't love. And then they got excuses to saying I don't give love. I don't love them hoes. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They say that all day. Don't you know that they telling you that that's not what they give? They stir up on a regular. They stir you up on a regular. That means don't get with that person, because they gonna stir you up on a regular. They letting you know who they are. I stir up on a regular. I don't love them. I don't love them. They just come up with different stuff on top of different stuff, and just to feed them. It's just to eat. Just feed. To feed off of them. And that's what they do. So as I go on, I'm saying, so the spirit you don't agree with that, you don't agree with that, so you know it says in the spirit and in truth, right? So do know that if you don't agree with the spirit, and it says that in the spirit in truth, it didn't say in the flesh in truth, it said in the spirit in truth, right? So you gotta know that spirit is supposed to lead you. Okay, you supposed to lead your heart, which I already spoke about this some years ago, about the heart ain't supposed to lead you. You are to lead your heart. That's what makes it right. You leading your heart, not your heart leading you. Okay, I've said that so many years ago on my Facebook page, even my old Facebook page. That that was many years ago. You are not supposed to allow your heart to lead you, because you cannot trust in your heart. But you are to lead your heart, and it will never lead you wrong, because you're leading the heart. You're doing it, not letting it lead you, because it will stir you wrong all the time when you let it lead you, because you are not present. You got to be present for everything. Everything requires you to be present. So if the spirit don't agree with that, don't agree with you being ungrateful, basically, that's called stressed. You stressing out. and anxiety will hit you because you're not agreeing with spirit. Then to turn around and agree with that in flesh, you are rebelling against God. Because you are now walking in that flesh, and he gave you this day. You ungrateful child. You're ungrateful. You are ungrateful child. You are ungrateful, and you didn't see that coming because you were somewhere else walking in the messy. Get out of the messy. It's a mess. Get out of the mess. It's messy. No. Get out of the mess because the flesh is messy. Get out of it. Get out of the mess that you in. If I'm saying get out of the mess you in, that should pop. You should snap out of it and be like, oh, let me get out of flesh and let me get in to spirit. Let me get it in. Let me get it in. And the pointer of that I wanted to make, okay, let me hurry up and make this pointer time. It's pointer time. So as we spoke about stress and anxiety, I want you to know that I want to make a point in you being in that and being ungrateful children. Okay, you're just an ungrateful person, period, for being in that mess and thinking that that's you whole time, and it's not. God is in perfecting his children, meaning judging them. And you are to take hold of the judgment that he make and do what you need to do. That is perfection. Point blank, period. But the pointer time, let me hear make this pointer because I think they're going to turn me off in a minute. Okay, so the pointer is, say for instance, you're behind the wheel. Now, if you're behind a wheel and you're driving, it's automatically you want to use one hand. Okay, you automatically use one hand to drive, right? But then as you use the one hand to drive, you think you got control of the wheel, right? You think you got way more control of the wheel because you're using one hand to drive to take the wheel. But like I said, I don't know if the world know this, but they teach that you should have two hands on the wheel. Now, this is actual truth. Now, we think that it's dumb to have two hands on the wheel because it don't make us look right, right? So we don't look at it as what it should be looked at. We looked at it as appearance wise, which is on the flesh. So we looking at it like, man, this is dumb. This don't make sense using two hands for what? I look stupid. I know how to drive. So then you thinking that you're taking control of the wheel by using one hand. But in reality, you about to be awakened up to something pretty soon on the road. And let's say you're on the highway and you driving. Now, somebody come near you, automatically you're about to go too far to the left or too far to the right. You're about to do that. You are about to do that. That's spontaneous. Okay. So that's that response. The response is about you about to go too far to the left and too far to the right. And we're talking about the pointer session of anxiety and stress. This is the point. It might not sound like it's the point to you, but it's the point to me, and I'm making the point. Okay. All right. Anyway. So you still using one hand to drive over, and so all of a sudden you get too far over and you have no control. You have no control over the wheels. You have no control over the wheels. So now you like, man, what's going on? Ugh. And you ain't thinking nothing of it. But in the book which the world, sometimes they say stuff and they don't be knowing what they be saying. But this is really good news. This is really good news here. If you take and put, no matter the appearance of it, if you take and put both hands on the wheels, you will have more self-control than using one hand on the wheel. Tell me, if you use both hands on the wheel versus using one hand on the wheel, you will have more self-control with using both hands. And guess what? Guess what? It's some other stuff it leads to. Yeah. This ain't about appearance. That's spiritual. Flesh only goes off appearance. And then next thing you know, your body parts aching. You're feeling kind of off a little bit, and then you don't want to drive no more because your body didn't took too much. Okay, it leads to something. It leads to something. When you out of control, it leads to something. It ain't just the appearance of it. It's going behind scenes and it's leading up to something. And now you got to get used to the pain of driving with one hand. You got to get used to the pain. Like, oh, I do this all day. I do. Hey, wheels turning. But if you just take and just use two hands, no matter the appearance of anything, if you take and use two hands on the wheel, use two hands on the wheel, you will understand that it's less stress on the arms. It's less stress on the arms. It's less stress on the body. It's less stress on everything. The eyes, it's less stress on everything. It's less stress. And you got self-control of the wheels. And then you're able to use this hand when you need it. And you're able to guide with this hand. As you lead with this hand is able to turn. This hand is able to turn. And then this hand is able to turn as you lead with this hand. This hand down here is able to turn. You're able to turn the wheel, self-control the wheels. You are able to self-control the wheels and turn and turn and turn. And then guess what? When this gets worked out, this hand gets worked out, this hand gets worked out, and less stress on the arms. That stress on the arms won't even take place when you learn how to maneuver in the right way that you're told to, versus trying to rebel because of appearance wise on the flesh. Talking about one hand is good. No, two hands on the wheel works better for you. Not only the appearance wise, but it works better for you and makes you less tired as you are behind the wheels. Especially if you're behind the wheels all day for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. This here will help you, using both hands will help you take that whole day out. Boom, you took the whole day out. And it's less stress on your body parts, including down on your legs and all in every area, in your organs, your productive systems, all that in conjunction, your back, everything is going to be in line when you use both these hands to utilize the wheel. I'm telling you, it works. You flexible, okay? You become flexible. And God, children are a flexible nation. You're very flexible when you're doing it right versus doing it traditionally, like you've always done it. I'm telling you. And it's the 3 and the 9 for me. It's the 3 and the 9. But you know, it's that big old thing in the middle of the wheel that's there. You got to go below there and you got to do it. Or sometimes you can go below there and then you can go on top of there too and relax. You know, it's like you stretching out, you giving a workout to your body, and all your body parts gonna feel it, and they gonna feel fine. They gonna feel fine, I'm telling you. Okay. But anyway, I think I said everything. That's the pointer for the day of stress and anxiety. Well, have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.